Previously on Zeeebo's Ultimate Beginners tier list. Let me put it clear. Cecia is super overrated in my honest opinion. Cecia is super overrated. Hello everyone and welcome to this AFK journey video. So just a disclaimer, the precursor to this video is just a joke. Like, it's not meant to target any group or any tier list in general. Tier lists are fundamentally different in opinions anyway, so just a clarification before that. But it's funny because everybody's putting Cecia really high, but for my tier list, because I put her in the decent category, people keep on asking me, you know, like, is your tier list accurate? Why is Cecia such a low tier? And you know, why do you put her in the decent category? So I'll take this opportunity to do a complete guide for Cecia, as well as talk about my most in-depth opinion and analysis for this unit. So first of all, let's start with Cecia on one of my accounts which I used to play. Right, so Cecia over here is Supreme Class, one of the max tiers that we can actually have her at. So I pretty much have everything unlocked in terms of the skill kit, except for the level 3 and level 4 exclusive weapon stuff. But for Cecia's case, I don't think the 3 and 4 matters too much, because Cecia's kit revolves more around summoning her Mr. Cow, which is the summon unit, and then relying on 2 units on the battlefield to actually do damage or disrupt the enemy. So before I begin talking about Cecia as a unit, let's take a look at her kit. So her first skill, Queen Summon, summons Mr. Cow, which is a unit that inherits all of Cecia's stats. So this unit will do normal attack, right, and inherit Cecia's stack, and this normal attack is actually 170% of Cecia's attack. So it's 2.7 times damage when you have Mr. Cow on the battlefield, because this unit does 170% attack of Cecia's attack. So Cecia is 100%, Mr. Cow is 170%. Obviously there's a little bit of attack speed difference there, but we just make things simple, right? 2.7 times once you have the unit on the board. And on top of that, this unit gains an additional 45% max HP, but loses 4% of HP per second. So what this means is that this unit will eventually just disappear and die off once the HP is depleted, but you're able to use the skill multiple times to replenish this unit's HP, because over here, right, when Mr. Cow is summoned, he initiates Tangle Enemy to entangle enemy within 2 tiles. So that's the AoE route. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard and you guys know how the ultimate work. And the entangled enemy cannot move. So if Mr. Cow is already on the battlefield when this skill is used again, the skill restores his HP to max. So you can actually recycle the ultimate. As long as Mr. Cow is kept healthy, you summon him again, he's going to root the enemy again, and then he's going to continue attacking. So you basically have 2 times the attacker on the battlefield. And on top of that, right, further increase in level increases the normal attack damage that Mr. Cow deals, so more DPS there, and also increases his max HP by an extra 60%. So pretty much from here, it's like 200% of Cecia's HP. So you have a second unit that deals slightly more damage than Cecia and slightly more tanky than Cecia. And on top of that, when the unit is summoned, there's some sort of AoE control. So this ultimate is really powerful. And if you combine it with the second skill, which buffs Cecia's attack speed together with the summon's attack speed for 8 seconds with a downtime of 12 seconds, this means that once Cecia has the ultimate up, she's going to be quite powerful in terms of dealing damage. And on top of just dealing damage, Cecia's ability to actually gain defense penetration is also very scary, because if your enemy is very thick in terms of defense, this could turn into a weakness for them, because defense penetration penetrates even thick defenses. So that's one thing which Cecia has for her. And on top of that, she has the ability to absorb defense and magical defense from a target every second up to 8 times. So pretty good against super tanky targets, right? If your enemy is like full of defensive buff, or if your enemy is really tanky, by reducing their defense by sucking it away and giving it to Mr. Cow. Overall, Cecia is a really good anti-tank, really good damage dealer, control, and she has a pretty good track record in terms of the PvE side, because her whole kit is just very versatile in doing a lot of things all together. And she's really strong because being able to do damage, being able to control, being able to just like debuff the enemy all together in one kit is really powerful. However, disclaimer, the ultimate takes a lot of energy. Right over here, this says it's initial 0 energy, but if you guys have used Cecia enough, right, you guys will realize that Her energy bar at the bottom takes quite a while to charge up, much lower than many units, right? In fact, I think her energy bar actually takes a little longer to charge up, or rather, the max energy bar to get the ultimate off is a little bit larger compared to other units. So the ultimate is a really powerful ultimate, but it comes at a price of being slightly slower in terms of usage. So that's a very fair balance. In terms of PvE setting, she is definitely top tier. She's definitely S tier, S plus tier, like many other tier lists mention her. But in terms of every other content, at least as you move towards the mid to late game, you'll realize that Cecia is not as effective. She doesn't do that well as a pure damage dealer, and she doesn't do that well as a control unit because her control is very reliant on the queen summons. So that's why she's only decent. But is she a good unit? Cecia is definitely a good unit. So that's why you see a lot of whales, you see a lot of players using her right now to push through contents to give you the slight ahead edge you have in the PvE setting. So everywhere else, maybe not as strong, but in terms of PvE setting, Cecia is definitely top notch. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about the team building for Cecia per se, and specifically how should you build Cecia in the PvP and PvE setting with her being the core unit, the carry of focus. So I'm going to use this Dream Realm boss as an example. Like, this is by no means a Dream Realm guide. It's just a way to show how you can build around her. So you want Cecia as the main carry, and you definitely want Rowan as her support. So like I mentioned multiple times, her ultimate is very slow. So Rowan speeds that ultimate usage up. And on top of that, every single time Rowan uses the ultimate, it cycles through her energy bar faster, so she's able to spam her ultimate more. So you guys can see where this is going. So Rowan is an excellent support there for energy support, for potion support, as well as for the defensive buff that Rowan can offer. So to complete this, you might also want a Torrent as well as Igor. So the reason for these two units is obviously for the faction buff, 10%, and these two units, they are very annoying. Igor buys a lot of time by jumping around, then Torrent is also a unit that buys a lot of time because he has multiple lives and he can debuff. So overall, really good combination. In fact, if you do want to run Cecia in the arena, this is also how it looks like. Then for PvE setting, this team is lacking slightly in terms of sustain. You have a control, you have DPS in the form of Cecia as well as Igor to a certain extent, and you have the team energy support from Rowan. So to finish up or wrap things up, you want support over here in terms of a PvE setting. So I think Heron is an amazing choice because Heron's ultimate is really powerful, and no matter where the unit are, you're going to be able to heal it. This applies to the summon as well. So what happens is if Cecia has a summon on the battlefield and Heron's ultimate is active, the summon also gets healed. So the HP drop is not that significant, can keep the summon alive for longer. If not, you can also use Smokey, which is also one of the better healers support in the game, because the summon that Cecia throws out benefits from the cloud, right? So Cecia benefits when she's within Smokey's cloud depending on your placement, and if the summon is within Smokey's cloud, every buff that Smokey apply to Cecia is also applied to Mr. Chaos. So this unit is how it looks like. I'm not going to showcase here because this is definitely not the optimal setup for Yeti, not for Snow Stomper, but this is just a general idea of how you want to build Cecia as the main carry. If you don't want to go the Graveborn route, you want to go, like, for example, the Lightbringer route, as usual, then obviously you want Lucius as a tank and a front line. You might also want to have Aldir Corin over here, which provides sufficient DPS with a little bit of shielding to keep your units healthy. And then I'll say the last unit, depending on what you need. Do you need more heals? Do you need more DPS? Do you need more damage? Do you need more AoE damage? You slot in the necessary units accordingly. So yeah, this is probably how I will build Cecia as a main carry in terms of the PvE contents. Obviously, there are many other ways to build her, but if you want to build around Cecia, I'll say these two units, Rowan and Cecia, they go pretty well together. In fact, if you want to fully abuse Cecia's ability, Rowan is definitely the best partner. So moving forward to the arena's case, going into the arena, the team building ideology for Cecia is also very similar. If you want to abuse Cecia's summon ability, right? You want to actually use her as the carry, the main carry of choice. Then obviously Rowan is the best choice, right? The idea is the same. You also want a tank on the front line. And since my main tank is Danny, I'm going to go the wildest route. I'm going to use our dear Heavin over here. So this one gives me the wildest route. If I feel that, hey, I need a little bit of disruption, I'll put in Iron. But if I need a little bit of support heal, I'll put in Damien. So Damien in the late game is also really powerful. And if you do have Celestial / Hippogene, especially Scarlita, who is generally pretty versatile, you can also throw her in to complete the faction bonus as well as cover for the DPS compartment. Because if Cecia can't deal damage, then Scarlita can be the secondary carry. So in terms of arena, this is how it works. I'm going to do just one match showcase. I don't know whether I can win, but I'll showcase how Cecia work in a team, right? So I'll probably pick an easier opponent over here so that it's easier to win. So let's go. I'll pick this guy. I think I should be able to win him, right? So yeah, let's put Cecia into the mix. Okay. So I'll use the Damien variation first for you guys to see how like Cecia run as a primary carry. And if you're only running her as a carry, I think using a lightning spell is quite good because this buffs the 1 unit's attack speed at the start of the battle. So it gives you the edge that, you know, you can cycle through your skills faster. So without further ado, let's just do a simple showcase against my dear opponent over here. Let's go. Okay, so I'll go at 2 times. So I will speak as the battle go on. So you have the speed buff over here, as you guys can see. And then we have all this support going on. And with Rowan's ultimate activated, all my units are starting to use the skill. So over here, Cecia is using the ultimate. So able to root. And it's faster than the opponent's Cecia, right? So as you guys can see, once Mr. Cow comes on the battlefield, this unit is actually really scary, right? Provided you're able to get a summon. Cecia is quite powerful, like, don't get me wrong, right? It's just that I feel she's not as powerful against some of the most meta units, and that's why I put her only in the decent tier. So yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Just a simple team introduction for this unit. In general, if you do want to use Cecia to clear your AFK contents, your AFK challenges, your open world contents, as well as the different contents where you need a carry and a control unit, Cecia is definitely a top tier pick out there. But if you're looking at more extreme late game contents, she will fall off eventually. So just take note about that. Invest in her based on what you need. Invest in her based on your vision about your team building. And that's it for this video. Hopefully this Cecia guide is very helpful for you guys. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more from the channel, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.